Oh, you know it's a Disney video when the ears go on. Yes, today is about Disney content, but also what to do about alcohol post bariatric surgery. I have had the privilege of going to Disney as an adult before my daughter was born 4 years. My then boyfriend, now husband, and I started going to Disney when we were 18 years old together, which is embarrassing to admit how long ago that actually was. So we are very big into Disney adult culture, if you will. I'm gonna put a disclaimer right here. If you have never been to Disney World without your children, this is the sign that you needed from the divine, from the universe, from the spiritual callings, from your ancestors, from whoever sent you this message. It's time to book that trip. We did not go to Disney without Callie on this trip. However, we did get a babysitter. And because I went with my sister and her family, we did some swapping, creative babysitting swapping. I was able to go back to Fort Wilderness to put her girls to bed, and then she came to the Riviera to put Callie to bed so that we didn't need to pay for babysitters and we could both go out with our spouses. I will also put both of the room tours from the cabins at Fort Wilderness as well as from a 1-bedroom at Disney's Riviera Resort in the description box below, and I will link the Riviera one up here because that one tends to be very popular. Anywho, Mark and I always like to squeeze in 1 or more date nights when we go to Disney World, and we typically do a really nice restaurant. We love Disney Springs, we love Wine Bar George, but we wanted to do something different this time. In the past, when we've stayed at Bay Lake Tower, which is our home resort because we're DVC members, we have done like a monorail, either a progressive dinner or a bar crawl. This time we were on the Skyliner. I love the Skyliner. I love it. It is one of my favorite Disney attractions without it even being an attraction. I want to walk through with you where it goes, what we drank, and what it's like to drink post weight loss surgery if that's a choice you're going to make. I did film vlog footage that I'm going to insert throughout, but at the first few places I felt really awkward because they were like quiet and intimate places. So I filmed clips of what we drank, but I didn't talk into the camera because I'm awkward. So we started at Disney's Riviera Resort, which, spoiler alert, is my very favorite hotel on Disney property that has the most gorgeous restaurant, Toppolino's Terrace, quite literally at the top of the Riviera. So we grabbed a few glasses of wine at the bar. There is no bar service outside. And then we took our drinks out to the terrace and the patio to enjoy them. We were also here on the cusp of sunset, so the sun was like going down over Disney. It was just such a chic and sophisticated way to end a Disney day. Those are the words that I would use to describe the Riviera. Elegant, sophisticated, bougie for sure. And that's the way I want to feel when I'm in Disney. Yes, even when I'm wearing a tutu. So that's where the fun began. And then we hopped on the Skyliner and we headed to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort for Banana Cabana, a very different vibe. That's one of the things I really loved about this adventure the most, is that every place we went, even though they were all in Disney, they had super specific atmospheric elements to them. Banana Cabana is an outdoor bar that feels very Jamaican-esque, I guess, right? Caribbean, that makes sense, where they have island vibe drinks and there are steel drum sets that make up the light fixtures. Mark got some type of rum concoction or Mai Tai because that is his vibe, that's his brand. And again, I got a rosé. We sat on the bench and we looked over the lake. It was a lovely experience. And then I am going to insert the footage that I took here for where we went next. This may be the world's worst lighting. Look like a haunted mansion ghost. We're on our way. Where have we done? We started with Toppolino's Terrace at the Riviera. We did Banana Cabana at Caribbean beach, and now we're on our way to the Art of Animation, which may be the strangest place we've ever had a cocktail. And then we'll be off from there to Hollywood Studios and then EPCOT. Keep you posted. Oh.
Just ahead and to the right.
We're at Art of Animation. I had to go in to get a Prosecco. They do not have them at the
pool bar.
What's it called? The drop-off, right, the drop-off. Mark was able to get some type of like green rummy concoction that he really likes. Would you like to show your drink? But I had to go in to get the Prosecco, and then I stole this paper cup, so. Maybe not the most luxurious of places. We started at Toppolino's, but we're headed to Hollywood Studios after this, to Oga's Canteen, which is always a fun time. I'm excited to see what kind of drink you get.
I don't know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, but you always get really fun ones there.
I'll have to look at the menu.
You heard it here first. So we've stayed at Art of Animation in the Little Mermaid suite at least twice. And while I really love the rooms, I love their price point in terms of Disney hotels, I love the access to the Skyliner, I will say that this was not my favorite bar experience. I think it serves its purpose if you're like eating outside, you're doing some quick service dining, and then you're getting your kids to bed or you're having a snack. But the fact that I had to go inside to basically beg for Prosecco and then steal a paper cup, I'm a Disney snob. We've done a whole video about that. It's just not my thing. Although I do love the thematic elements of Art of Animation. I like how grand and over the top all of those like pieces are that are outside each themed area. And Little Mermaid area is still my favorite. We did the fastest turnaround in Hollywood Studios, including the fact that my feet had bleedy blisters, because we quite literally ran into Hollywood Studios, snagged a spot at Oga's Canteen. DJ Rex always steals the show. Mark ended up purchasing, and if you saw our Disney haul, which I will link above, he ended up purchasing this Rancor flight, which is beers, like little teeth beers, and spending over $100 in under 10 minutes. I had a glass of wine, we drank, and then we ran to make it to EPCOT for the fireworks. And I don't mean like, oh, we're gonna be late, scurry, scurry. I mean, we sprinted. I was in my Lily Pulitzer maxi, holding the bottom, backpack on, sprinting to get to EPCOT. And we did make it in time. Not only did we make it in time, we got to see the fireworks, we got our last drinks, and I got fish and chips. That's a happy way to end a Disney evening. The Skyliner Bar Crawl continues. We ran. Okay, running seems strong, but moved very quickly from Hollywood Studios to EPCOT. We think we're just gonna make it for the fireworks, which is harmonious. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it right here. And hopefully we're gonna be able to grab our last cocktail in EPCOT, and I'm secretly hoping for some fish and chips. Doesn't seem optimistic about it, but that's what we're going for. We call that on vacation second dinner. Is that right?
Fourth meal.
Fourth meal! We call it fourth meal, which is dinner too. Also, Mark just dropped $105 on teeth of the Rancor?
Yes.
At Oga's Canteen. So that's the fastest we've ever been in and out of Hollywood Studios. Under a half an hour, would you say?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. So this can be done. It can be done, but wear comfortable footwear. My toes are very upset with me right now. We made it. This is 1000% something I would recommend that you do, either with your girlfriends, with your husband, with whoever you go to Disney with who aren't children. You could easily do this bar crawl and turn it into like a snack crawl, or Mark and I love a progressive dinner where you get something small to share at each place. I feel like for older kids that would be really fun. But I think one of the reasons why this is such a good time is because it's a bar crawl. Let's talk about VSG, shall we? The bariatric element of this is that I need time in between my drinking choices. And I also have to know my own limits. So prior to having weight loss surgery, I could easily drink a bottle of wine and be affected pretty minimally. Post weight loss surgery, since, sorry if this is too scientific or gross for you, 85% of my stomach has been removed. I'm almost 3 years out, so it's like in its pretty settled pouch formation. I can't really eat and drink at the same time. Otherwise, foods, they're called slider foods, and they just quite literally slide through my digestive system. And I don't feel full. It actually has the opposite effect where it makes me feel pretty sick. So I need to be careful. And there were a few locations where I just didn't finish my glass of wine, and that's okay. Or I needed to walk or move afterwards in order for myself not to feel intoxicated. So the thing about alcohol and weight loss surgery is that while you may be having a normal amount of social drinks with your peers, you are intoxicated way faster. It hits your system directly because your stomach is so small, it just gets into your bloodstream so much faster, and it stays there longer, which means that if I have evening cocktails or evening glass of wine and then I go to bed, I can literally feel myself digesting it, and it keeps me awake at night. That may not be true for everyone, but that's something I have noticed 3 years out. I didn't have alcohol for the first 10 months. I was supposed to go 12, and then the pandemic hit. So judge if you want, but I was alone with my daughter. I became her preschool teacher. I was still teaching full-time virtually. It was time to reintroduce some rosé to my life for balance. So I did reintroduce it really, really slowly. My husband and I had conversations about what alcohol intake should look like at that time. And now I know where I need to be. I need to be incredibly hydrated, up on my protein, up on my supplements. Like, I can't miss those vital signs if I know I'm going to have a night with multiple cocktails. So there's just more thought and prep that goes into it. And I remember in one of the classes I took that the nurse said, if you are a drinker, if you are someone who can't envision your life without alcohol, this isn't the surgery for you. And I remember feeling disappointed because I feel like champagne is a staple of my personality. So I thought, well, I mean, if I have to give up alcohol for the rest of my life in order to be healthy and happy, I'll do that. But it turns out you can have both. You just have to be careful about the reintroduction. I can do an entirely separate video. I know this isn't Disney-ish, but if you're interested in reintroduction of alcohol as a concept, let me know in the comments below, or like this video, email me, DM me, whatever, just so that I know what kind of content you're interested in. So I did have to be careful. When we went to Oga's, I had like a sample size. I had like 4 ounces instead of 8 or 6 of wine. And then I was making sure to hydrate along the way as well. I did not feel intoxicated or sloppy or uncomfortable by the end of the evening in any way. I think it's because there was so much activity in between each location, and this was stretched out over hours worth of time. So we weren't trying to drink 4 to 5 drinks in an hour, right? We were out and about, we were snacking, we had food along the way, kind of in between the drinks. So I felt really stable at the end of the night. And then I just made sure to hydrate before I went to bed and started my day with protein and vitamins the next day. So I hope this was enjoyable for you, whether you're here for the VSG part, the bariatric part, or if you're here for the Disney. Either way, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm giving you all the fun and all of the reality of post-VSG life in one. I hope you're having a magical week. Is this something you would consider doing? Please let me know in the comments below. I love you, and we will see you soon. Bye, beautiful friends.